Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You were watching Probably at Disney, and we're at Hollywood Studios to talk about a surprising new rumor/report that, according to sources, is a pretty big deal. Within recent days, more than one source has claimed that we haven't heard all of the new projects that Disney has in the works for Walt Disney World, and Disney may not be waiting until this year's Destination D23 to reveal it. So in this video, I'm going to dig into where this new secret project is expected to go, when Disney is planning to announce it, and spoiler, it's soon, and then analyze which IP fans are speculating will be involved. So, what is this new secret project? If the reports are true, Disney has a plan to redo Animation Courtyard at Hollywood Studios after all, with rumors describing it as big. And for reference, Animation Courtyard is the current home to Star Wars Launch Bay, Disney Junior Live on Stage and Character Meets, and the soon-to-be opening The Little Mermaid, a musical adventure show. The fact Disney has a plan for this space may explain why Imagineering opted to replace Muppets Courtyard for its Monsters, Inc. Monstropolis, and maybe, just maybe, it was why the new Little Mermaid show was delayed from opening last year to this year. It's also worth noting that this space is a bit of a challenge. Yes, there is room for land, for a whole themed land, but significant demo will be required to do so due to the Launch Bay building and subsequent office space, and the fact that Disney Junior would likely need to go somewhere since it's a huge draw for families. Now let's talk about when Disney is looking to make the announcement. So some of these same sources have suggested that Disney may drop this bombshell of an announcement the week of May 22nd, which also happens to be the same week that Universal Epic Universe opens, and there are two possible reasons for that. The first, to obviously steal some of Universal's press and so that Disney doesn't look defeated when this park opens to the public. The second, the big announcement may have something to do with the property that's already found at Universal Orlando. Now, since everyone thought Disney had revealed its full plans for Walt Disney World at last year's D23, and with this year's Destination D23 still months away, I don't think anyone was anticipating this, especially with so many projects gearing up and other new offerings making their debut this year. So I'm kind of shocked Disney is willing to shell out even more cash right now. But this may indicate that Disney is more concerned about Epic Universe than they're letting on. And that's understandable given the glowing reviews the park and its attractions are getting from team members and their families during previews. So if this rumor report comes to fruition and it's truly big, maybe then we'll know. But let's get into what might be coming to Animation Courtyard in terms of IP and theme. So one of the leading contenders that has been floated online is that the announcement for this space is for a Simpsons Land or Simpsons Ride, since Disney now owns that franchise. And while I get the arguments in favor of this, I doubt it. I highly doubt it. Not only will there be debates about whether the Simpsons belongs in Disney's family-friendly parks, but a Simpsons Land and attractions have been done. They're at Universal, and they're not exactly major favorites. It's also just not something fans are asking for, and I don't see how The Simpsons would move the needle for Disney. And it definitely wouldn't succeed in setting Disney apart from Universal. If anything, it would only emphasize that Disney and Universal are competing instead of setting Disney apart. The next contender, and y'all, this is a big one, is Marvel. I've said it, it's been talked about, with Universal planning to overhaul its pre-existing parks in the future. Of any time in recent memory, the chances of Disney getting the theme park rights to Marvel are higher now than ever before. Is it still a long shot? Absolutely, but the conditions are far more probable now than I can ever recall. If so, and if Disney is planning for something Marvel at Hollywood Studios, that would definitely make headlines the opening week of Epic Universe. And there is some talk that Black Panther's Wakanda might, and I emphasize might, be possible even without Marvel theme park rights. And there's some evidence that Disney may be thinking about this because leading up to D23 last year, Disney Parks Chairman Josh D'Amaro name dropped Wakanda as one of Imagineering's plans pretty much every time he spoke to the press. Also, in addition to a Wakanda show coming to Disney Plus, when talked about Animal Kingdom's Indiana Jones ride for Tropical Americas, Len Testa from the Disney Dish podcast made specific mention that Kul Khan, the Maya feathered serpent god, has connections to Black Panther. And maybe I'm imagining things, but when I heard him explain this, I remember thinking if he was alluding to something about Black Panther coming to the parks. Now, personally, I'd rather see Wakanda at Animal Kingdom or Epcot than Hollywood Studios, but this is one possibility that I do think has more evidence in favor of than not. Another potential contender is Zootopia. A Zootopia land or ride has been floated around for years and even expected at one point for Animal Kingdom. And it is sort of happening in the form of a show inside the Tree of Life, opening later this year at Animal Kingdom called Zootopia Better Zoogether. I just don't think a Zootopia land or ride is that high up on theme park fans' wish list, and with a Zootopia experience already on the way this year, I just can't see Disney going back to that same well so soon. I've also heard fans speculating about Disneyland Paris's new Lion King log flume ride being replicated here for Animation Courtyard, but again, I just can't imagine Disney doing that anywhere but Animal Kingdom, so I'm kind of doubtful about that one too. However, I do think, if this is even possible from an engineering standpoint, and I'm not saying that it is, that the Moana log flume ride concept, which was first shown at the 2022 D23 Expo, would be a great choice here. This concept art has never quite gone away. Fans love it, and Moana 2 just broke the viewership record on Disney Plus, and we all know that speaks volumes to the Walt Disney Company. And I think Moana next to Little Mermaid show could really complement each other. We could have a water-themed corner, a water-themed land at this part of Hollywood Studios. Now, would these two concepts work better at a different park? Yes, of course they would, but at this point, I'll take whatever we can get. A few other contenders I've heard that I'll briefly run through is another Star Wars land, which I think is a long shot given the location of Animation Courtyard. Also a Frozen land, which I get since Disney is seemingly building them everywhere. But I have a hard time believing this is going to come to Hollywood Studios since Frozen's footprint at Epcot's Norway is already so significant. And then I've heard speculation about the Muppets, especially if the space could connect back to Rock and Roller Coaster. The latter I do not expect at all, but if Disney ever wanted to realize that Muppets version of the great movie ride here, it would definitely go a long way in helping theme park fans forgive them for closing Muppets Courtyard in Muppet Vision. So there we go. That is what we know about Disney's secret project and surprise announcement, and here's hoping they will follow through on this, because I do think it's going to be a rough summer for the Disney parks, not only because of Epic Universe, but because much of what Disney World is doing this year involves really unpopular decisions, including shutting down Muppet Vision and likely draining the rivers of America. In the comments, let me know which IP you think Disney is looking to for Animation Courtyard, and if you have any theories. And if you enjoyed today's video, and if you love Disney Park news and analysis, I would so appreciate if you would like this video and subscribe to the channel. If this report is true, there will only be more news to share amidst this Disney Park building blitz we're in right now. But regardless, thank you for taking the time to watch. I so appreciate everyone who tunes in, who lets the ads play, and who shares their thoughts. The support just makes my day, and it's great to know there are others out there who are just as passionate about the Disney parks. Hopefully we'll have more to talk about on this topic in the coming weeks, but until then, I hope you have a magical day.